they are.
Yeah. Even if they're a radical Islamist.
Yes. There's no right to judge them.
Absolutely.
Because we have freedom of religion. We should be able to believe in whoever we want to believe in.
Exactly.
We do.
Who do you have more in common with, would you say? A Trump supporter or a radical Islamist?
I don't even know if it's between the two of them.
Well, just between the two, who do you think you would have more in common with?
Probably a radical Islam. Yeah, because I'm not hatred. I don't believe they don't push hatred on. They believe in their God, you know. I don't believe that everybody hates. I just can't. There's a lot of hatred. He's causing a lot of hatred in this world.
Okay.
I do believe that.
You would say that Trump supporters are more hateful than radical Islamists?
It's not even Democrat and Republican anymore. It's Democrat and MAGA. The Republicans became MAGA. It's like drink the Kool-Aid, be MAGA, and it shouldn't be MAGA. You know, they wear hats and T-shirts. If you're going to go to an event, enjoy it. Just be yourself. Don't advertise hatred, and that's what MAGA does.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up. If you saw someone wearing one of those red hats, chanting "Make America Great Again," or you saw someone shouting "Allahu Akbar" running down the breezeway here, who would you feel more safe with?
The one shouting Allahu Akbar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The MAGA. Honestly, I'm afraid to go past trucks anymore because they all have bumper stickers on their cars, MAGA, you know, all this. And I'm also afraid, like years ago when we passed somebody on the highway, you give them the finger.
Goal. So the two things that we're famous for is our commitment to a program and our hatred of the United States Constitution. And what the program does is it gives us a roadmap to revolution, and it gives us the obstacle that we finally will have to get over to have a revolution, which is the United States Constitution, the basis of the United States government. And what the minimum maximum program specifically, what that format specifically gives us is that roadmap. It gives us the minimum circumstances under which we would be able to take power and govern. And it gives us the maximum program, which is the goals that we're actually aiming for. It also clarifies democracy as both the end goal and as part of the process to get there ensures the internal party democracy that we want to see in DSA. So it really wraps up the revolutionary tradition of democracy that I think socialism and abolitionism in the United States have always been a part of, and aims at a future that we can live in as a human species, because I think absent a revolutionary democratic socialist republic in North America, we may not have a livable future.
You know, you recently joined the Democratic Socialists of America, and I know you're not big on labels, and there's been a lot of emphasis on trying to put people in certain categories, and there's been a frustration for voters and candidates alike. I understand that. But could you explain what attracted you to them and why you decided to join?
You are exactly right. I am not concerned with labels. We can argue about people's labels. I care about people's needs.
Okay. Now, look, I know you're a Democratic candidate for Congress. You are, however, a member of the DSA, and there are opponents of that movement who point to the failed socialist governments in Latin America as proof that socialism doesn't always work. And the DSA just in the last few days put out a statement commemorating the 100th birthday of Fidel Castro, which says in part he was an organizer, a fighter, and endures as a stalwart symbol of anti-imperialist struggle and self-determination for the global South. Do you agree with that sentiment? And does it concern you that this type of celebration of Fidel Castro is what might validate people's concerns with the DSA?
I'm not concerned with how people construe this organization. I'm interested in finding what we have in common so that we can move this country forward based on bold policies, which that poll suggests people are wanting, irrespective of political ideology or generation.
Imagine if a person that you loved in your family was killed or raped or murdered by someone who wasn't even here legally. How would you feel about that?
Well, here's what I say. You know, my heart obviously hurts for those people, but we can't, base entire arguments off of anecdotes, one-off incidents. I mean, the data is not showing that you have thousands of people being murdered or killed by illegal immigrants in the country. That's just not true. We don't have to use fear in our arguments when we're talking about immigration.
Yeah, I know you have been out there saying you want to get rid of the Electoral College and so forth, but just to drill down a little bit more on the DSA, do you believe that this is a blip on the radar for the Democratic Party with these more progressive socialist candidates being elected, or do you think that this could be the future of the Democratic Party and it could be changing before our eyes in the way the Republican Party changed with Trump? What do you think?
I think the Democratic Party has to be a big tent party where people can have different ideas on how we solve a problem as long as we agree that that problem exists. I mean, right now, the media is obsessed with differences in the Democratic Party when the differences between the Democratic Party and the Republican Party are so stark.
More in common with a Trump supporter or a radical Islamist?
Radical Islamist.
You saw someone wearing one of those red hats chanting "Make America Great Again," or you saw someone shouting "Allahu Akbar" running down the breezeway here. Who would you feel more safe with?
The one shouting Allahu Akbar. Yeah.
You would support the radical Islamists.
Yeah.
What is it about Trump supporters that you don't think you'd get along with them so well?
I'm gay.
But you would get along with the radical Islamists?
Yes.
And you're gay?
Yes.
In solidarity with radical Islamists, would you look at the camera and say in solidarity, Allahu Akbar?
Allahu Akbar.
And would you say, "Make America Great Again" in solidarity with the Trump supporters?
No.
What is a bigger threat to America today, radical Islam or Trump supporters?
Trump supporters.
I'll say Trump.
Trump supporters and MAGA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say Trump supporters and MAGA.
I would have to go with the Trump supporters.
Trump supporters and MAGA.
Trump supporters and MAGA.
I'd say MAGA.
But we should be able to allow people to be who they are.
Yeah. Even if they're a radical Islamist.
Yes. Yeah. There's no right to judge them.
So if someone came running down the street, Allahu Akbar, or if there was someone on the opposite side saying, "Make America Great Again," got my red hat on, which side would you run to?
I don't know.
As Christians, and we're following Christ, do you think it's important to call out radical Islam?
No, because it's a freedom of religion.
Yeah, it's a freedom of religion.
How many terrorist attacks did Trump supporters engage in last week?
So many.
Just guess.
Thousands.
If you're a radical Islamist watching this right now, we pray for your conversion.
It's whatever they want to do, then do it. 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 Whatever they want to do, then.
Oh my God.
I swear that's not AI. I had to watch that. I wanted you guys to see it. I could literally have made an entire show just off of that. It is insane. I don't know. You can pick your favorite. You can tell me which one was your favorite of the insanity montage you just saw. But the one that was my favorite was the person who said, "I don't like MAGA because I'm gay, but I'd rather be much more in the camp of the Allahu Akbar side." That's what we're fighting against. We are fighting against people who have no freaking idea what the hell they're talking about. None. No, I don't mean a little bit. I mean none. That's why these people are succeeding. That's why they're getting so many people to embrace socialism. I think the number was up to like 58% of Democrats are embracing and favor socialism over capitalism. We are sitting in the midst of a perfect storm. Down here in Florida, it's hurricane season, knock on wood. And, there's Cat 1s, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I feel like we are right now in a Cat 3. Getting to go up to a Cat 5 if we don't do something. And one of the things I firmly believe, after being knee deep in so much of this stuff and going through it and seeing these videos, and Robin, you see this? What am I supposed to say about this? Is that I am here to firmly tell you that I believe there is no Democrat Party. It is a facade. It is a name that's just dangling, like my thumbnail said. It's just on a sign right now. Where's that thumbnail? Let me bring it up so you guys can look at it. It is merely just something on a sign. They are completely under new management. There is no Democrat Party. There's not a Democrat I know in my family, any friends I had, grew up with anybody. And I come from the Northeast. There is nobody I know who is a Democrat who aligns with this insanity. And so at this point, I don't know what the people, they looked intelligent, they looked like they had minds on them, but they have been completely brainwashed. The propaganda has infected them. And literally, I think we have to, I hate saying literally, but I think we have to realize at this point, they are never coming back. I keep saying that. People keep doubting me. Barry, anything could happen. Absent a lightning bolt or God tapping them on the shoulder, those two things maybe. Other than that, they're never coming back. There was a post I made earlier today that the lady who has admitted killing her kids, she has admitted, yes, I strangled them. People gave her $835,000 in a GoFundMe. 835 grand. Oh yeah, I killed my kids. And at this point, we've lost connectivity. It's gone. There's nobody on the other end of the phone of sanity. And the reason I keep talking about this, because it seems like every day something else pops up. And I'm like, if keep my sanity, I have to need to help keep your sanity. And if you're not seeing it, this is what you have to be wary of. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. That one clip where they said openly, they're not even hiding it. They're not even hiding it. We want to tear up the Constitution. F the Constitution of the United States. It means nothing to us. So I want you to think back over the course of your life. Have you known Democrats? Not libtards. Have you known Democrats? Is there any Democrat that you know in the entirety of your span of life that you grew up with, or friends, neighbors with, whatever, go to church? Hey, you used to be able to go to church with a Democrat. You used to be able to go to dinner with a Democrat. We don't have Democrats anymore. I remember being in a fraternity house with like 50 other crazy kids, and their fathers and their parents would come, and some of them would be Democrats. Hey, how you doing, Barry? Hey, how you doing? Yeah, we're going to go over here. You want to come to dinner? Hey, all it was a different party. I believe in this person. I think they'd be better for the country. I think this guy'd be better for the country. Never knew anybody who said, I want to destroy the country. There may have been people you know, might have been some crazy people, but very few. And if they were, they probably weren't saying it out loud. They probably weren't wearing it on their sleeve. I want to destroy this country. You deserve 9/11. I want to rip up the Constitution. No, I never heard that. I want to spit and stomp on the flag and use it to wipe my butt. Nope, never heard that. And so the more you start seeing some of the stuff I see, the more you start realizing, I don't know what happened to this big tent that they think that they're building, but this big tent, it stinks. It stinks really bad. It has a stench of anarchy, because that's truly what they want. What's a lady in Minnesota? I want to rip apart ICE. Those are some strong words. I want to rip apart ICE. They're finding hundreds of thousands of kids who've been, whatever has happened to them, God forbid. I want to rip that apart. We don't want to stop that. I want to give this lady who killed her babies $835,000. What? Where are we? What happened to America? Is it the media? How did all these people get enveloped where she could go out on the street and just have a microphone? So would you rather be with these guys or MAGA? Which one? No, I'd rather be with the Alice snack bars. You realize what's coming for you, don't you? Have you lived in a box? Do you not understand, Miss Gay, lady, boy, whatever, what they will do? You got wings? Just check it. Since you're down with Allah Akbar, I'm just checking to see if your little gay behind has wings. Do you not know the transportation system they have for people like you? No, never seen that? You want to see it on a video, what they do to people like you? They don't even like pets. Some of these people are out there walking their dogs. Do you understand that you can't have that? No, I forget what it's called. I think it's called a haram. It's disgusting. You got the other guy doing podcasts and he's zapping his dog while people are watching. SPCA, you going to say anything about that? No, that's okay. We got to get Trump. I have finally realized at this point, when they say we got to get Trump, what they are really saying is we need to get America. We need to destroy this country. You people have lived way, way too good of a life here. And so what we want to do is get rid of the Constitution. We want to make you pay as much taxes as possible. We're going to tell you what you can and can't eat, tell you where you can and can't live. And your way of life, for some reason, at a country they all want to come to, they want to destroy. You're leaving your dirt huts in other countries to come here because supposedly you wanted a better life, and now you're all walking around saying, I want to destroy this place that you live in that has a better life. And somehow, I don't know how, you have completely convinced an entire race of women that this is better. I don't know if these women had bad husbands. I don't know if they were abused. I don't know if they have daddy issues. But what the hell is wrong with liberal white women? At first I thought, you really can't say that. You can't brandish that. You can't paint that whole swath with one brush. You got to dig into this. Is it really that bad? Oh, it's really that bad. I can't explain it. It's a phenomenon beyond my capacity to understand. I'm not a psychoanalyst. I can't figure it out. What has happened to them? Even going back to the 60s and early 70s with the, I am woman, hear me roar movement and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, they want to make sure that they're more represented in the workforce. I get that. They want to make sure that they have, become mistresses of their own destiny. I understand that. They want to put off having a baby until after. I can understand that. Those are all choices you made. But then something happened where that empowerment became almost insanity. Hey, you're going to be able to take that thing in your stomach and rip it apart, just like they said ice. Oh, you've had a couple? Oh, okay. We're going to even make it easier. Now it's going to go beyond a couple weeks. We're going to make it like 13 and 18 weeks. Oh, that's even more fantastic. So I have no culpability. I have no personal accountability. Oh, wait a second. Now we're going to make it up to the point of birth. So you can change your mind at any time. Isn't it great you live in a country like America? By the way, what's the abortion rate in some of these Middle Eastern countries? Any of these white women checked in on that? You think it's okay if you abort one of the babies from a man who's into a snack bar, if you know what I mean? Do you think that's gonna survive? You not think this part out? They still got their women wearing bathrobes with hoods. And you think you're gonna go to some place and spread your legs and good luck with that. Everything that they have lived and fought for, equality in the workforce, being able to do this, they're staring down the barrel of a double-barreled bazooka to destroy every right that they have. And they're like, yeah, I'd rather be down with that. Maybe you should fly over and hang out with that for a little while. See how that works out. See if you're even allowed to talk. Ask some Persian woman how it feels. Many of you probably won't even know what the hell Persia is. I had the fortunate time, and Rob and I, we met a woman who worked with a guy that worked with me, and I was shocked when I said, oh, you look like you're from a different country. Where are you from? Persia. Where the hell is Persia? I don't even know where Persia is. I don't know if many people in the chat understand. Where's Persia? It doesn't exist anymore because they came in and said, no, you women, you got pretty brown hair and like boobies and said, short, we can't have that. Try this on. And by the way, if you get out of line, I'm going to do some whacking. Pop, 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 pop. And then I might drag you through the street, and God forbid our daughter ends up doing something. We got this certain law where we can take you out. See, our parents all said it to us. Hey, I brought you in this world. I'll take you out. We thought it was funny. Oh, yeah, why are you saying that to me? No, they mean it over there. We will take you out, and it's okay. It's called mercy killing. I don't know how you put those two words together. But yet, with all that stuff I just said, and some of it I know is probably like, damn, Barry, you went a little bit too far with some of the analogies there. You've got liberal white women who are like, yeah, this is pretty good. I'm all in on this. Yeah, tear up that Constitution. Put me back in the dark ages. Let me put on the tent. Maybe that's what they mean by big tent. Let me put on the big tent. Is that what you guys think? Is there a woman in here who's like, yeah, that sounds good to me. Put me back. You know, when what's his name? Joe Biden would say they're going to put you back in chains. These people mean it. Don't for an instant think they wouldn't think twice about putting you in a burqa and saying, enjoy it. It's hot out here. I don't give a doggone. Enjoy it. Get some more deodorant. Oh, deodorant. Oh, yeah. Get some more deodorant. And I'm sick of it because the more I sit and look, there's not a single Democrat I've ever come across who would buy into this. And so at this point, I think we sincerely have to say there is no more Democrat Party. Let's not play with this anymore. All we have is Americans, and they will call themselves socialists. I will say commies. They're hiding. And you know what the disparity is that's really funny? Is that some of the politicians are saying, oh, you don't have to worry about labels. I'm like, you've lived your entire career with labels. Every single election has been about labels except this one. Do I need to go over them? You guys know them. You've been called it. The people in the video called it. It's always been about labels, but now because it's a little bit of the labeling where people would recoil, they don't want you using the labels. I'm not about labels. Yes, you are. Yes, you damn well are. That should be an indication for people who have any doubt. The most labeling people in politics now don't want you to call labels because they know at this point the Democrat Party is done. Completely. It will never survive. If it survives this turn in the election by the skin of its teeth, it will not survive the future ones. So let's just go ahead and put up, the roses on the dirt and give these people their rightful burial. And then in November, let's give them their rightful burial, hopefully forever. And I think once people get in the mindset that we're fighting enemy, not a political party. When you start thinking we're fighting enemy, not a political party, then it makes more and more sense for President Trump to do the Insurrection Act and anything he needs to do to stomp out this enemy. There's going to be a turn really soon. I don't know when it's coming, but it has to turn where we stop addressing these people as a political party and start addressing them as an enemy of the state, because that's what they are, and they're telling you in advance. Imagine this. Imagine if somebody is telling you right now, I want to rip up the Constitution, shred it, and spit in your American face and wipe my butt with your flag. If I'm willing to tell you that now, what do you think is going to happen if I get in office? You see, I don't think enough of these people are taking this stuff seriously. They're telling you straight up without any fear. The only ones who show fear are the other Democrats who like, don't label us. The other ones like, I don't give a crap if you label us or not. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to tear up your Constitution, and we're going to tell you to go shove it. They don't even have a problem with it. They're cowards. And it's only because of politics that certain people are fudging.